respect the hard-won gains.
Of those physicians
in whose footsteps I walk.
I will remember that I not only treat a cancerous growth,
but people like me.
Introducing Indiana University Health, a nationally recognized healthcare system dedicated to providing exceptional care to the people of Indiana.
I will remember that there is art to medicine.
and that sound judgment is just as important
as the latest treatment options.
With some of the most experienced and skilled physicians in the nation. And a unique partnership with the IU School of Medicine.
May I long experience the joy of healing.
Because it's my mission.
My mission. Because it's my life.
The strength it takes. Indiana University Health.
Are you suffering from depression? Do you still feel sad or hopeless most of the time, even though you're on prescribed medication? If you're taking depression medication and are still experiencing symptoms, you may be eligible to participate in a clinical research study testing an investigational medication taken in addition to an approved antidepressant. If you're at least 18 years old and still suffering from depression, call 1-866-990-2929 or visit stepdstudy.com to see if this research study is right for you.
If you have questions about your Social Security benefits, or if you have questions about how to file your appeal, call Hensley Legal Group or visit hereforthepeople.com.
Join me tomorrow at 10 on RTV6.
From the team on your side, this is 60 News at noon.
The sounds of a wicked winter storm bringing dangerous ice to the area, and this is only round one.
Our other big story this noon, the funeral of Metro Police Officer David Moore. This is a live look at the service going on inside Conseco Fieldhouse, one attended by hundreds of police officers and members of the public. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this expanded hour-long edition of 6 News at Noon. Now, we have two big stories today, saying goodbye to a hero, Metro Police Officer David Moore, and also the weather.
We're already dealing with one icy and dangerous blast, and another is yet to come. We'll take you back to Officer Moore's funeral in just a moment, but first, we have live team coverage of the winter storm. We begin with Storm Team 6 meteorologist Julia Sandstrom.
Thank you, Grace. Let's start out with where we are right now. This is a live picture of downtown Indy. Now, we've been in a break between waves of these showers for the last several hours. So let's talk about what exactly we have going on here right now. We have a tenth to a third of an inch of ice accumulation. That's where most of the area, most of central Indiana, that's what we woke up to. But we did find a few spots where we have a ½ inch or more. Carmel, 3/4 of an inch, that's ice and sleet combined. Also a little bit farther north of Noblesville, about an inch with all sleet. So you see how it changes over further north. Now that was from last night's first round of showers. So icy on the roads at the onset, but remember, this is just the first wave, and the second one is moving in and will arrive this afternoon. In fact, what we're looking at, here's our live picture right here, our live True View radar, and I want to show you what's headed our way, just in case you're getting lulled into a false sense of security. Blizzard conditions right now in Oklahoma City with 14 inches on the ground in Tulsa. Now also we have 1 inch hail in Arkansas, and look at this, a tornado watch. That line right there, that frontal line, that's what is causing the severe storm watch right there. Now, we're not going to get the severe storms, but we do have the blizzard conditions that'll move into northern Indiana and also the ice across central Indiana, and it all gets going in the next couple of hours. I fast forwarded to about 1:45, and you can see how the snow gets going to the north, and it'll be during the 3 o'clock hour before we see this pink right over central Indiana. That's the freezing rain, and we have a good 6-7 hours of this heavy ice coming down and accumulating. So it's not out of the realm of possibility to get a ½ inch or more of additional accumulation, and that's why power outages are a big concern, because it'll go into the overnight hours until at least 10 o'clock. Now, it's not as bad as earlier thought, because it now looks like we could see showers change over to rain in the late overnight hours, and if Mother Nature melts that ice for us, that'll be good. But that doesn't take away from the fact that we are looking for an inch or more of ice accumulation possible across central Indiana. I'll update you on this. I have the full forecast coming up for your neighborhood in the next go-around.
All right, thank you, Julia. And the threat of worsening weather has led Indy Mayor Greg Ballard to issue a travel watch for Marion County. All city and county employees not essential to public safety and public works were dismissed and allowed to go home just minutes ago at noon. The travel watch issued about 90 minutes ago means conditions are threatening to the safety of the public, and only essential travel is recommended. Approved travel includes to and from work and emergency situations. The mayor is set to address the city's plans and travel restrictions at a news conference later this afternoon.
The State Department of Homeland Security is keeping track of the road conditions and the counties that have travel warnings and advisories right now. Now here's a live look at that website. Right now you can see Shelby and Decatur counties both have travel warnings. That's the highest alert. That means travel may be restricted to emergency personnel only. Several other counties are under a watch.
6 News reporter Stacia Matthews just got out of a briefing with the Department of Homeland Security.
And she joins us now live from downtown with the very latest on what they had to say. Stacia?
That's right. As ordered by Governor Mitch Daniels, Indiana's Homeland Security is now leading emergency management agencies all across the state. They have coordinated a task force here to pre-plan for the next round of the storm. That team includes representatives from FEMA out of Chicago and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. We were told overnight the ice knocked out power to more than 16,000 homes. At this hour, there are still pockets of reported power outages, roughly 8,000 people, mostly in the western part of the state and in Terre Haute. Travel, of course, is a real concern, and officials are asking people not to get on the roads unless it is an emergency.
We took the steps last evening and this morning to pre-position about 850 of our Indiana National Guard soldiers, a variety of places around the state. Their primary mission will be what we call highway assistance teams, and their job is to help coordinate with the Indiana State Police and the Indiana Department of Transportation to help with problems out along our highways and certain emergency transportation needs.
Now, the Red Cross has set up a number of warming centers along Indiana highways. That's so that motorists can stop, rest, and get warm if they need to do that. We were also told that some 26 shelters are on standby, ready to spring into action if that need becomes necessary.
And Stacia, you were saying that you had some difficulty even getting out of your own driveway, even getting out of the garage this morning.
Absolutely. So they are basically saying unless you have to come out here, if you are a doctor, a nurse, an EMT, anything like that, yes, certainly. They said most employers should understand.
And Stacia, one final question quickly. You're downtown yourself. I see cars going behind you back and forth. How are the road conditions where you are?
The road conditions where I am are actually very good. The highway conditions also, Chris, are very good. The state has been very busy overnight. They laid down a mixture of salt and water first and then went in with a plan of attack and used plenty of salt. Coming up in the next half hour, I'm going to tell you all about that and what the next course of action will be.
All right, thank you. Stacia Matthews reporting live downtown. Now, some of the worst conditions we found have been in Shelby County, just southeast of Indy. In fact, one accident on I-74 has left 3 people injured, including a state trooper. Now, this happened on 74 at the 120-mile marker, the exit for State Road 244. The trooper was helping 2 victims of a crash when another vehicle slid and hit all 3 of them. The trooper was treated and released. The others were treated for serious injuries at Wishart Hospital.
The driving conditions to the west of Shelby County are also causing problems. And we continue our team coverage now in Johnson County. That's where we meet up with 6 News reporter Joanna Massey live this noon. Joanna, what's the situation where you are?
Well, Chris, if you take a look behind me, you can see the main roads here in Greenwood are not that bad, but let me show you right here on this corner what we're finding on the back and side roads. Sheets of ice, very thick, difficult to penetrate. If you've been out shoveling this morning, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. We have thick ice here, things just frozen in time. This sign, I couldn't even pick it up if I wanted to. It's just frozen in the grass, these signs. We're also seeing the leaves on the bushes frozen. It's actually kind of pretty. Branches frozen. This ice storm has certainly left its mark down here. Now take a look at some video we shot just a short time ago in a subdivision off Averitt Road. You can see streets once again covered with ice, a very dangerous situation for drivers. We caught up with a gentleman who was trying to de-ice his driveway. He had quite a task in front of him. Fortunately, he said he had put a little ice down, so it wasn't as bad as it could be, but he did talk about what the driving conditions were like last night.
I could barely get home last night. I had to pull in the driveway. My car started sliding down, and I wasn't sure if it was going to hit my neighbor's car. But, you know, I've never seen anything like this. Have you? I mean, this is crazy.
Now, take a look at this power line. You can see it's starting to droop. This is what we are worried about. The ice making those power lines heavy and brittle, ultimately making them snap and leaving you in the dark. I spoke with Johnson County Emergency Management. That's what they told me they're worried about. So they are putting plans in place to have shelters open. Their first call will be to the Red Cross, but then they're also looking at schools and churches with generators for people, particularly people with special needs, who may need some extra help to get through these power outages. Unfortunately, help will be available if people need it. Reporting live in Greenwood, I'm Joanna Massey. Back to you.
Thank you, Joanna. And now to the northeast of us in Madison County, roads are in fairly decent shape. The big thing, few people have been venturing out, and that's why authorities say there have been few accidents. I-69 was clear in both lanes until our crews passed the lapel exit. Then we started running into icy patches. Farther north in Muncie, authorities tell us one lane of 69 is drivable, while the other is ice covered. However, the good thing is there have been very few accidents because most people are staying home, and those who do venture out are heeding the warnings to be exceedingly careful.
It's slippery out there. You got to be careful. Watch out for the other drivers. Take your time. Start out early. Get an early start.
They tell us there haven't been many accidents. A lot of people seem to be staying home.
I think so. My dad's staying home.
Oh, they're not too bad right now. They're a little slick and everything, you know, but everybody can get around. They're just be real careful.
And we have much more weather coverage ahead in this expanded hour of 6 News. We'll see how it's affecting power outages as well as travel and other issues.
Right now, we want to go to our other big story. At this hour, the community is gathering to remember and say goodbye to Metro Police Officer David Moore.
Officer Moore died after being gunned down during a traffic stop just over a week ago. This is a live look at the ceremony going on right now at Conseco Fieldhouse. Julie Persley reports.
David was a dedicated police officer, an incredibly loyal friend, and an amazing man. I'm going to read this blessing, but this blessing is not for David. This blessed is on behalf of David, for you, for those he loved, for more importantly, those he served.
Before dawn, the body of Metro Officer David Moore was escorted from Crown Hill Cemetery to Conseco Fieldhouse. Officers later formed a line of honor and stood at attention as the fallen officer's family arrived for his funeral. His mother, Metro Police Sergeant Joe Moore, wearing her son's high school letter jacket from Roncalli. More than 1,200 officers from around Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky, and Ohio filed in for the procession.
And then we have officers that are actually working the street for IMPD so that they can attend their funeral.
Officer Moore is being remembered as a hero who died giving of himself to protect others. Hundreds of members of the community were here to show their thanks.
Just to pay my respects. It means a lot to me that he gave his life for
our city.
But peace officers and firefighters are the real superheroes of our society, so it's only right that we pay respect to them and see the need and the service and the sacrifice that they make each and every day on our behalf.
For Officer Moore's comrades, that speaks volumes.
We'll take all the support we can get.
To have them here with us here at the actual funeral is just incredible, and we thank them for that.
The mayor of Indianapolis, Greg Ballard, said that Officer David Moore was a warrior in the best sense of the word. You can see the bomb squad vehicle is parked here outside of Conseco Fieldhouse. That's because Officer Moore was a member of the bomb squad. They had a special roll call, and they honored him for making the ultimate sacrifice. Indiana State Police tell us that the staff at Conseco Fieldhouse estimate about 3,500 people are here in attendance. His father, Spencer Moore, will be delivering the eulogy. A number of people are sharing memories of Officer Moore, not only as a policeman, but a football player at Roncalli and also a friend. Now, due to the weather conditions, there will not be a procession to Crown Hill Cemetery. Also, the honors that would normally take place at gravesite are being done here. Officer Moore will be buried at a later date in a private ceremony. Derek Thomas will have a full report coming up tonight on 6 News at 5. Reporting live from Conseco Fieldhouse, Julie Pursley, 6 News.
All right, thank you, Julie. A lot of prayers being said for the Moore family today. Well, with the winter weather predicted this afternoon, losing electricity is a real concern.
Yeah, we'll tell you what several local agencies are doing to make sure you are not left out in the cold.
It's not just road travel affected by the ice and snow. Airlines are canceling dozens of flights. A look at how flyers are coping at Indianapolis International.
If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to compensation. Mesothelioma is a rare cancer of the lungs and abdomen caused by asbestos exposure. Many workers and their family members were exposed to asbestos years ago and are now being diagnosed with mesothelioma. Williams Kirker has been representing people with mesothelioma and lung cancer for over 30 years. Call 1-888-990-MESO for a free consultation. Attorneys are waiting for your call now. Call 1-888-990-MESO.
Join the conversation. 6 News on Facebook.
It's Family Leisure's annual floor model spa sale. With over 40 spas on display and nearly 100 in stock, you're sure to find a deal that works for you. Stop in now for the best selection. Nobody beats Family Leisure.
Car wreck? We have a no-fee guarantee for every client, every day. Get serious. Get Stewart. Call 1-800-3333-LAW.
With the pace of modern-day living, it's where friends and families create a sense of heart and home. It's where we celebrate the simple pleasures that make life worthwhile. That is the role the American kitchen has always played. Unique Home Solutions believes life's moments should be savored in comfort, and they have all the right ingredients for a custom-designed and innovative kitchen makeover. Whether you simply want to refresh your cabinets or a whole new look for your kitchen, cabinet restyling is your solution. Unique's handsome cabinet and countertop styles satisfy your appetite for beauty. And accessories like pull-out drawers and appliance garages make it easy to keep your workspace efficient and organized. Easy finance options, free in-home design planning. Unique can help you create a new kitchen without the price tag of a new kitchen.
Unique Home Solutions, 1-800-800-1971.
The power of Storm Team 6. Now in an app. Control animated radar, weather alerts, hour-by-hour forecast, and more.
Get the free Storm Team 6 weather app today.
ABC Wednesday, February 9th, Matthew Perry returns to television in a new arena of comedy.
You tell Springsteen that I'm the boss of this arena. Don't tell him that.
ABC's Mr. Sunshine premieres Wednesday, February 9th on ABC.
Welcome back to this expanded edition of 6 News at noon. This is a live look at the parking lot at Eastgate Mall. Power crews on standby right now. We estimate about 30 trucks waiting there in case we have power outages in the area. They will be ready to roll. And several agencies are on standby to open shelters in the event the power goes out. The Red Cross of Greater Indy is prepared to open shelters in an 18-county area as determined by emergency management. The Salvation Army also has 2 warming centers firefighters ready to be open if needed. They also have volunteers on standby to take out trucks with food and hot beverages in areas without power. In Noblesville, you can go to fire stations to keep warm if your lights go out at home. And again, shelters are not open now, but will open as needed.
It is a bad day to travel no matter what type of transportation, but especially by air. Dozens of flights are canceled at Indianapolis International right now. Just look at the departure status on the website. Canceled, 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 canceled. Now, the same storm that slammed us is also causing problems down south. Icy runways forced Dallas-Fort Worth International to close this morning, and that is bad news for thousands of people trying to get there to see Super Bowl 45. Hundreds of incoming flights were canceled because of the nasty weather. 6 News reporter Jennifer Carmack joins us live in the newsroom now with a closer look at what you can expect if you're trying to head to the airport today. Jennifer?
Well, Chris, the biggest information I can give you is call before you go to the airport. Indianapolis International wins awards for their ability to keep planes moving during winter storms, and they are working hard to get the ice off of planes and to keep one runway open. But with another wave of ice coming in, it's an uphill battle, leaving the airport looking like a ghost town.
One look at the board at Indianapolis International, and there's no question this storm has walloped the airport. Around 100 flights have been canceled due to the ice here and around the country, stranding people like Renelle Miller.
We slept in the airport, and it was like a big slumber party. Every couch was filled, and it really wasn't bad, but we're tired now.
Crews are working around the clock to keep one runway clear and keeping planes de-iced. Some flights are able to get out. Paula Paris hopes her plane to D.C. is one of them.
My family lives just north of here, so we were in town visiting family and just came in for the weekend, and we thought it was just the weekend and then got stuck.
Bob Beavers got here this morning from Muncie to find his flight to Steamboat Springs is canceled until Thursday.
I think the roads are probably better, or not too good to go back to Muncie, and better off just staying put. So we've got reservation at a motel and be back over here Thursday morning.
Beavers, like most travelers, is taking the storm with a grain of salt.
No reason to worry about it. We can't change it. We've got to make the best of it. Just a new adventure.
Now, Indianapolis is an origination and destination airport, not a connector, so we won't see a high number of stranded travelers here. At last check, Delta, Continental, and Southwest have pretty much canceled all of their flights today. If you have a flight, check that status before heading out. There is a good chance it has been canceled or at the very least delayed. Reporting live in the newsroom, Jennifer Carmack, 6 News.
Thank you, Jennifer. It looks like getting down to Texas or even preparing for the Super Bowl is almost as hard as getting the chance to play in one.
And that's why city leaders are in Dallas this week. We'll show you what they're up to.
Also, Julia returns with a detailed look at when more ice and snow will return to the area. Stay with us. There is more News at Noon coming up.
Just a year from now, the Super Bowl will be right here in Indianapolis.
Central Indiana is spending a lot to get ready, but will the game really make money?
6 News watchdog Kara Kinney is on your side, digging into the numbers.
Do you think the payoff will be worth it? Then Thursday, 6 News is live near Dallas.
We'll show you what a Super Bowl payoff really looks like.
How much money should Indiana expect? See what's being done to cash in.
6 News is on your side Thursday night at 11.
Why watch regular TV when you can experience the next generation of television service, AT&T UVerse TV. TV like you've never seen before at a really great price. Switch to AT&T now to get UVerse TV starting at just $29 a month for 6 months, DVR included. Or get up to $300 in promotion cards with a qualifying UVerse bundle. UVerse TV lets you record and play back your favorite shows in any room. And you can record up to 4 shows at once on a single DVR. Maybe that's why UVerse TV is ranked highest in residential television service satisfaction in the North Central region by J.D. Power & Associates. Switch to AT&T now to get UVerse TV starting at just $29 a month for 6 months, plus DVR included. Or get up to $300 in promotion cards with a qualifying UVerse bundle. AT&T UVerse TV. TV like you've never seen before. AT&T.
The American Kitchen. In its recipes, we find our past. In the daily preparation of its meals, we celebrate the present. And in our desire to share these moments again, we look hopefully toward a comforting future. Unique Home Solutions can help you create the kitchen you've always craved. Life is celebrated in the kitchen. Celebrate yours in comfort.
Unique Home Solutions. 1-800-800-19
suffering from depression? Do you still feel sad or hopeless most of the time, even though you're on prescribed medication? If you're taking depression medication and are still experiencing symptoms, you may be eligible to participate in a clinical research study testing an investigational medication taken in addition to an approved antidepressant. If you're at least 18 years old and still suffering from depression, call 1-866-990-2929 or visit stepdstudy.com to see if this research study is right for you.
Welcome back, everyone. 22 minutes after the noon hour. This is a live look at Keystone and I-65 on the south side. And there's not a lot of traffic out there, but what little traffic there is seems to be getting along just fine. But Julie, I thought you brought up a very good point by saying, let's not take this lull for granted and think that the worst is over, because the second round is coming.
That's right, and it will be much worse because this is the actual storm center that's going to push over us. So the showers will be more prolonged and heavier as well. So I've got all the maps to show you that.
I see that big red area over us.
Yeah, it's lit up like a rainbow, isn't it? All right, so we're looking for a significant freezing rain event with ice accumulation across all of these counties that are shaded in red, with blizzard conditions to the north. And that means, of course, heavy snow along with the strong winds. And it's been expanded. It's not just the northwest corner, although that will be the worst of it, because Chicago is looking for the worst blizzard, the third worst blizzard ever. In fact, if they get 23 inches of snow, it will be the worst blizzard. Now, right now they're looking for about 18 inches to 2 feet, so it could happen, and that's what's slopping over into the northern part of our state. So up to 18 inches of snow, and the farther north you get, the farther west you get, the more likely that is. Up to 8-foot drifts because of the 45-mile-per-hour gusts. So the road crews will not be able to keep up with this. Plan on road closures, impassable roads. Just don't travel in this area. All right, for the rest of us, we're looking for that freezing rain event. So we're really not looking for much, if any, snow accumulation. It'll all be Peru and northward. And you can see the area that's shaded in the purple will get the worst of it. So let's take a look at this storm center that's moving up from the south, and it's bringing that warm Gulf air with it. That's why we're getting all of these different types of precipitation. The warm air moving up from the south, and the cold air is wrapping around. That's why Chicago and northern Indiana are getting so much snow, because it's that lake effect. That wind is dragging over the lake. Granted, it's the opposite direction that it usually comes from, but once this system pushes off to the east in the early morning hours, all of our temperatures will drop down and it'll change over to all snow. What showers are left? So right now you can see the 50s from Kentucky and Tennessee, and even Evansville is up above freezing. So we're right here in the 20s, which is where we'll spend most of today and most of tomorrow. Now there's the cold front right there. You can see the drastic change in temperatures. 60s in New Orleans, 20s in Dallas. They've dropped 30 degrees just in the last couple of hours. So that's, you can see how that cold air is just marching forward and dropping those temperatures. Now, in the next hour, I'll show you, in this next go around, I'll show you that between these two events, we could briefly warm up to near 40 degrees, and that could bring our showers to the form of rain briefly. That would be good. Remember, this is a developing situation, so I'll show you that in the next go around. But what it looks like now, even if we do get rain later on, we will have a good 6 hours or so of heavy freezing rain. So a ½ inch to an inch of ice accumulation is a good bet. That means it's likely, and that means that power outages are likely, because it's the weight of that ice that just freezes on contact and coats everything that weighs down the power lines. We've already seen trees and power lines coming down in Hendricks County and other spots just with last night's round of the showers. So again, heavier showers headed our way. I'll let you know about these temperatures that may be changing and could be a good thing.
All right, we'll hope for higher temperatures, please. Thank you,
that
Julia.
Would help us out.
Indy's 2012 Super Bowl committee hoping to score lots of pointers this week.
They're in Dallas watching how this year's Super Bowl unfolds. Our Tara Kinney gives us an inside look at what they're hoping to take away from their Texas trip.
I just don't feel that I should be responsible for his debt.
You should have had better representation when you were divorced.
I should have never got married.
Next, Judge Judy. Tuesday at 4, followed by First at 5.
Unique Home Solutions reminds you that this month marks the biggest sale of the year on fine kitchen restyling like this. Your new kitchen is ready in days, not weeks. You don't pay the big price tag, and this month only, you get half off every kitchen door or drawer for each one you order from Unique.
Unique Home Solutions, 1-800-800-1971.
When
Molly's dad left for work that morning, she had no idea she'd never see him again. No idea a reckless truck driver would take her dad away forever. Molly's family lost a dad, a husband, and sole breadwinner that day. But when they asked for financial help, the trucker's insurance company said it wasn't their problem. So Molly called me, Vaughn Walmsley, and I made it their problem and made sure they compensated Molly's family for their loss. If you're hurt, call me, Vaughn Walmsley, 800-850-5054.
To everyone who wants to go to college and everyone who started college but never finished.
Couldn't finish.
Had too much on their plate.